But Kyler Murray was on the NFL Network and as a guest, and they asked him a question about the draft and whatnot. And TJ, take a listen to what he said.
I think I have an influence in it. I don't know why I wouldn't. I think if you got a guy, a quarterback, and you trust him, and you want to be the face of the franchise for a lot of years, I think he should have influence. Just because everything is technically built around the quarterback. So I think I have that relationship with Steve and Cliff, and I'm excited to see what we do on Thursday.
All right, are you ready, TJ?
Man, I'm ready.
Okay, if someone asked me if Kyler Murray should have say on the NFL draft when it comes to the Cardinals, you know what I would say?
You're going to say
no
yes.
way,
okay.
no how, zero. What is this? Can we stop with everybody wanting to be general manager and the owner of the team and all this other stuff? I'm not buying Kyler Murray. You know why, TJ? A couple things. First of all, I wish he would just be worried about playing quarterback and reading defenses and doing those things to be the best quarterback he can. Number two, I don't believe for 1 second that he knows all the college football players enough to be involved in the draft. I don't. Would I ask him if there was a player in the NFL that he played against, and if we were thinking about signing, what do you think of that guy? What kind of player he is? Do you know him? That, yes. But drafting? No, but I'm talking about, they were asking him about the draft. And here's the other part I'm not buying into. Who do you blame when Kyler Murray tells you to take somebody and the guy's a bust? Who loses their job, the GM or does Kyler Murray? It is on the GM. So I don't want to hear about players who all of a sudden want to pick the players that they're playing with and in the draft. TJ, you know football, you work out with guys. You don't know every player in the draft. And if I put you in a room and I was the general manager,
I know quite a few,
but you don't know them all.
I can rattle off a good. If you bring up names, I can give you qualities of a good 200 guys in this draft for sure. And I'm not nowhere near researching like these.
All right, and here's my last point, and then I'll let you go. The scouts and the GMs, they can't even get it right. You know how hard it is to draft? You know how many guys have been can't miss, bust in the first round, first overall pick? Remember Joey Harrington at Oregon? I could go on and on and on about players. So now I'm going to let it's already an exact science, right? And guys who do this for a living, scouts who do this for a living, swing and miss all the time. Now I want my quarterback to get involved in this. I want no part of it.
I'm going to go in somewhat reverse. Scouts that do it for a living, some of them shouldn't be doing it for a living. They've been stealing. That's number one. Number two is this. Okay, let me ask you this, yes or no. Do you think any player should have any type of say? Any player?
Limited, and most of it would just be, when you talk about say, I would ask your advice but not your permission. Okay, there's a difference. I would ask for your advice but not your permission.
I truly believe there is not one player in the past or one player in the future that will have the say on who is drafted. That will never happen, and it has never happened. What I believe he is saying is, and I don't believe Kyler Murray should have say so. Number one, you're an infant in the league. You don't have enough skin in the game.
Right.
Go prove yourself before you start talking like this. He's watching too much TV.
You know what? They had a chance to make the playoffs last year. You remember the last game of the year?
And so once he's proven himself and you've been in the game long enough, he should have say so. But when I say so, it's just like this. Hey, Kyler, we're looking at these 3 or 4 guys. They just 3 or 4 guys. All 3 or 4 of them are skill guys. Which one do you like best? We'll keep that in mind if they're on the board. But as far as Kyler, hey, Kyler, our pick is up. Who do you think we should take? No, never. That should not be the case. But having say so and giving your opinion, of course, no player will ever, hey, I want this guy, and that guy's going to get drafted. He should have a say in it. But Kyler, when I say he should, I don't mean Kyler Murray. I mean the player. Kyler Murray is not proven himself enough to have any say so in what the Arizona Cardinals do in the draft. But if he keeps progressing the way he has in his early career, I mean, he's going into his 3rd year, man. Like, a third-year quarterback? Like, everything is built around the quarterback. Like, these dudes really start watching TV, man, and listening to everything, and they really feel themselves and think
they are feeling themselves, TJ. You know it.
Yes.
I mean, there are guys who think that they should run the team, that they should like the owners have no say. Like, seriously, like I get it. When you become a free agent, you could do whatever you want. I'm all for that. But there are people who do own the teams, and they should do what's in their best interest. Who was the one? J.J. Redick, who was bellyaching that the Pelicans didn't send him to an Eastern team because he wanted to be with his family. And I'm like, if I got offered a better deal by the San Antonio Spurs, what trade would you make if you own the team?
I'm doing what's best for the team.
Okay, I agree.
Simple. You have to do what's best for the team. When you have a player that's played with you a long time, he means a lot to the organization and franchise. You try. I would if I was in I would try to work with him as best as I could. But ultimately, I have to do what's best for the organization and the team that I work for. And if I can do both at the same time, then that's what I'm going to do. But if it's 55-45, I'm going to consult with the player. If it's 60-40, I'm doing what's best for the organization. And that's just reality. You have to. And the player has to understand, I have a job to do before I please and do everything you want me to do for you. And that's just the reality of it. And it sucks as a player, but if you were the owner of the team, you would want the guy that's working for you to do exactly that. What's best for the team? Do exactly what's best. That's what I'm paying you for. And so
and what if he does
that's just
this?
what it is.
And again, okay, now you're a player and you've picked some players. They've gone your way. And now you get your panties in a bunch, and now you don't want to play there. You want to be traded, or you don't want to be there anymore. Now what? There's just too many scenarios
I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. And I'm just when you're in your third year, like Kyler Murray, or not even in your third year, you're approaching your third year. They don't need to call you. I mean, you need to understand this offense inside out. You need to get the Arizona Cardinals to the playoffs. You need to make sure your team knows this offense and you guys are ready to go in the toughest division in football when the season kicks off. And then you need to do it again. And then you need to do it again. And then we probably would give you a call and say, hey, Kyler, there's 3 guys we like. Which one you like the best? We need you to look at it. We'll give you a call in a few weeks. And once you look, that's what happens. Or at least that's what should happen.
And this would scare me. If a player did know all the players in the draft, I would be worried about him. That you have that much time, really, seriously, to scout all the players and know everybody, then you should be going for a general manager.
I mean, you'd be surprised though in the offseason. I mean, you do have a lot of downtime, man. In the offseason, as soon as the season ends, if you're a fan of the game, you have allowed a lot of just time where you're not doing anything really. Are you going to know a lot of the players inside and out and good and bad qualities? No, but football players that really love and understand the game, they know football players that really love and understand the game. It's not hard. I mean, you just turn on the tape, you watch a few games, and you see what you need to see. Obviously, you don't know them personally because physically, that's the easy part. How are they a human being? Do they treat people the right way? And I just saw a clip of Nick Saban, and that was perfect because Marvin Lewis used to tell us that, and but. And so, I mean, you want to be the and guy, not the but guy.
Right.
And for anybody that hasn't heard it, go listen.
You know that TJ's a great guy, but you know what I mean?
You like, but? What you mean, but?
I mean, but. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go. When you hear that but, you already know. Yeah, what do you think about hiring this guy? Well, you know, Rob G is all right, but if I had to pick another producer, I think I would.
That's just what it is. I just the moral. I don't believe Kyler Murray. He has enough skin in the game, man. He's an infant. He's an infant when we're talking this NFL stuff. Should he be consulted? Let's check back in about 4 or 5 years. I mean, Russell Wilson wasn't talking like this, and look what Russell Wilson did in his first 3 years in the league. He wasn't talking like this. He wasn't like. And so
this is all new, and players are really, like you said earlier, feeling themselves. All right, we want to hear from you. How much input should Kyler Murray have in the Arizona Cardinals draft day selections?
Let's get right to it. We got Jax in Kansas City. What you got to say to us, my man?
Hey, what's up, TJ, man? I appreciate you taking my call. Big fan of your work, both on and off the field, man. You do a great job.
Appreciate you, brother.
Mr. Parker, I appreciate you as well. And, hey, man, I just got to say, you're right, TJ. Dude is just an infant in the league. He hasn't proven a thing. He got out with a wham bam with that one big play in the Hail Mary last year, and everybody thought he was the next coming. And he's got time to get better, and he probably will. He brings something special to the game, but he can't be the one right now saying that he gets to make the choice. Now, the sentiment is the closest thing that these guys have to being able to put together the super teams like the NBA players do. So having input is about as far as it's going to go with the NFL, though, because they're never going to let you – they're not going to say, well, that's definitely the pick. I mean, not very likely. So I see the Chiefs organization with somebody like Pat Mahomes, who I know has won a Super Bowl. They're giving him input, but he's not going to make the pick. I mean, come on.
All right, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. And it's not – the NFL will never be the NBA. The NBA, all you need is 2 or 3 players. It's way different.
You got a chance every
year. I mean,
year.
am I right? Come on.
Yes.
NFL, you could have a great offensive side of the ball, TJ, and can't stop anybody. I mean, it's just too many players for you to have that kind of impact where you're going to change your team's fortune. I mean, as far as putting together a team. 877-99 on Fox.
Bertrand in the IE in San Bernardino. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, TJ?
What's going on, my man?
Oh, man, Rob, this dead-eye shooter from San Bernardino. Rob, how you doing? You on vacation, too, since Chris out today, huh?
What you mean? I ain't never on vacation.
TJ, I'm going to tell you something, bro. You my third favorite receiver of all time, brother, behind Michael Irvin, Keyshawn Johnson, and yourself, my brother.
I appreciate it.
Top 3 of all time. To Kyler Murray. It's 2 things that are getting mixed up now with these younger generations, and I love the empowerment movement by the players, but they're getting it mixed up with this sense of entitlement because they see one guy say something and then they feel like they can say the other. Kyler hasn't done a thing. He's still on the bottle. You understand what I mean? And when it comes to scouts, the last 2 that I noticed were Russell Wilson and Steph Curry at Davidson, not to jump subjects. But the best scouts are outside of the game, my brothers. Y'all have a nice day now. Take it easy.
Appreciate you, Bertrand.
Appreciate
Take
the
care.
call.
All right, TJ. All right, Rob. Bye.
Yep. You gotta. It's hard as it is, TJ. Right? Scouting and being able to see who you see guys who are great players maybe in college, but can they make the next step? Does their game transfer over? It's not always automatic, right?
It's a different. It's what I said, man. These dudes, they watch so much TV and they say, oh, I'm a quarterback too. I should have say so.
Right.
You guys are at different points in your career. One guy has done a lot more than what you have done. And when you get to that point, if your organization is willing to work with you or just willing to make you believe your input matters.
There you go.
There you go.
You just said it, because that's what they could be giving you wolf tickets, right? And telling you, oh, yeah, come on, sit in there on the meetings and the Zoom. Oh, yeah, what you got? Okay, yeah. And then go do what they want to do anyway.
Exactly.
Right? And then what?
We got one more caller. We're going to go to Andre in Massachusetts. Talk to us.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for taking the call. Straight to the business, I do think Kyler Murray should have some form of input. And the reason being is that he plays the most important position in all of sports, but then being the number 1 overall pick, the future of the head coach, Cliff Kingsbury, and the general manager, Steve Keim, is so linked to these high draft picks, just like it will be in 2 days for the NFL draft, that I feel, as you guys said, you do need to make him feel that he's a part of the brain trust.
But, Andre, let me ask you this. If you follow his lead and he steers you down the wrong path and the guy you pick is a bust,
Andre,
Who gets run out of town? Who gets run out of town?
This dude hasn't even played 3 years.
No, I know,
in the
but I'm
league.
just saying, is it the general manager gets run out of town, or is it the quarterback? TJ, who gets run out of town?
Who you think?
The general manager gets run out of town. That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
He's gone. You make the wrong pick too many times. You're out of there, and the quarterback is sitting here was like, "Ooh, I picked that guy."
Exactly.
It's never gonna. Andre, man, if you're a boss and you own a business, somebody gonna come in 3 to 6 months say, "I need to start changing some rules."
Exactly. Let me show you how to run this business.
What you want to? What would you like to change? No way. You just got here.